As we get ready for the fantasy football season, here are the 5 most underrated players in fantasy football for the 2025 season. In fantasy football, we feel like we know. We spent all this offseason figuring out, all right, who are the guys, who aren't the guys? But sometimes, again, some just kind of squeak through the goalies. So today, we're going to look at 5 players who I believe are the most underrated in fantasy football for the upcoming season. And if you are watching live or just watched it before, there's a bit of a crossover with my most underrated teams. Now I have an underrated player from that, and it's Breece Hall. 31st overall is where he is going according to ADP on Fantasy Pros right now. Running back 13, that puts him at, by the way. So I get last year wasn't spectacular. But again, last year wasn't spectacular, kind of all over on that team. I still think getting a toxic quarterback out of that room, getting a coach who knows what he is doing into that room, and an offense that could be tailored a little bit more to him, I think that this could be a season where Breece Hall reminds us why we were all so excited about him as a football player going into 2024. So I think Breece Hall could be a deal of a deal at 31st overall in your fantasy drafts and as an RB 13. So a high-end running back 2. If he's a running back 2, we're feeling very good about life. Also in that RB2 area, is Chuba Hubbard. 45th overall. He is the running back 18. He showed last year that he can actually do it. I think there were some people who were concerned that maybe it just wasn't going to happen, but he told everyone, just deep breath, just it's fine. Everything's good. I'm a pretty good running back. He showed last year that he can be that guy. And now I think this year, again, he basically has the backfield to himself. The football team should be better. And I think with that, there'll be a bit of a rising tide lifting the ship. So I think Chuba Hubbard has a chance to be a pretty good option for fantasy football this year. We have another running back on the list here as Isaiah Pacheco going 61st overall. So 12-team draft. That is back part of round number 5, early round number 6, and going as running back 24. So at the very cusp of being an RB2 into RB3 flex territory. I get when he got hurt and came back, it didn't look great. I fully understand that. But I think now, being a full training camp and year removed from that injury, I think he is going to, again, remind people there's a good running back in there. And I think that he is going to really outperform this value at 61st overall. I think he has an opportunity to be very, very good this season for Kansas City. Again, I think it's going to be an offense that's going to be improved, and I think that he is going to be a very big part of that. Up next, we have a receiver and a quarterback on the most underrated list here for 2025 in fantasy football. But a reminder, we saw it today. It is ever-changing with Couch Potato Diary, so make sure you follow me on social media. I am at Primetime Klein on Instagram, X, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Threads. So just, go give me a follow over there and stay up to date with everything going on around here. All right, 2 players left on the most underrated players going into the NFL for the upcoming season in fantasy football. Ricky Pearsall is going 93rd overall, wide receiver 43. Last year was a season from hell for San Francisco. Now, quarterback situation figured out. Purdy gets his contract. You have Deebo Samuel's gone. Brandon Ayuk is gone for a bit. Pearsall, to this point, hasn't been shot in the offseason, so things already going better for him. I think that this is a chance to be a real breakout season for him. I know the other day, I posted the video of coaches who I think are going to be on the hot seat for the 2025 NFL season, and Kyle Shanahan is on there. That is just if this goes wrong, again, what happens with him? Dude is still a brilliant offensive mind. And so now, with a lot of those pieces out of the way, Pearsall has a chance in what should still be a pretty good offense to put up some big numbers. So I think this is an absolute steal for Pearsall at 93rd overall. And the last one on this list is at the quarterback spot. It is Jordan Love going 130th overall. He is quarterback 18. They went out and got what could be a number 1 wide receiver in the draft in Golden. They have a stacked receiving room. Josh Jacobs is still a solid running back. And the only thing that really limited him last year was health. But I think, again, if he can stay healthy, which you say for basically everyone, he has so many weapons around him. He has a really good coach in Matt LaFleur. And I think that this is going to be a fantasy-friendly offense this year. So I think Jordan Love, if you wait on quarterback, he has an opportunity to do something pretty big with this football team this year. So I think Jordan Love is a steal of a deal at 130th overall and 18th as a quarterback. I think that that's a very solid pickup late in your draft. So what do you guys think? Any underrated players that I missed? Let me know in the chat or in the comments section below, and we can discuss in there as we go along.